In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a Facebook lead ad step by step so that you can go from zero knowledge to functioning, working, performing campaigns in the next 15 minutes. If you don't know who I am already, my name is Javier Tabet. I run a digital marketing agency, Capital Edge Media. We help our clients scale with paid advertising and AI automation systems. And we've run hundreds of campaigns and generated thousands of leads for our clients. So it's pretty safe to say that I know what I'm doing when it comes to setting up a lead campaign. The first thing we need to run a great campaign are a clear objective, a compelling offer. We need to know who we're targeting. We need creative assets, aka photos, videos, or this isn't going to be a video on how to create creative assets. That's a whole video in itself, and it can actually impact the performance of your campaign. But I can give you a guide. And we're going to need a private policy so that Facebook knows that we are a legitimate company and we're not just trying to rip off our customers. And we also need a budget. Now, a budget is super important because it allows us to see what our cost per acquisition for a new customer will be. So if you're starting out with Facebook ads, I recommend you keep your budget from $20 to $50 a day. This is a sufficient amount that you'll be able to see what price you're getting leads at, and you'll be able to get enough leads to actually see what price it takes to convert those leads. Let's head over to Facebook and see how to set up a campaign. So I'll show you this from my personal profile. What it does is it comes to my homepage. What I want to do is I want to come to the side here. Oopsies. What I want to do is I want to come to the side and I want to select Meta Business Suite. Now what this will do is it will take me to where I can run my ad campaigns. Once I have that, what I want to do is I want to go over to all tools. Then I want to go over to adverts or ads manager. And once I've clicked this, it will take me to my ads manager, which is already open. But just to show you how to do it, that is how. Once you're in your ads manager, you might need to set up some of the actual internals. That's okay. You can go ahead and do that. There are many videos instructing you on how to make sure your ad account is compliant and that you can run ads properly without your account getting banned. We're going to go over to the sidebar here on the left and we're going to click onto campaigns. Once we've done that, we're going to click create campaign and it will create this page here. Now this page here allows us to have different types of buying actions, but what we want to do is we want to create and select the campaign that fits our objective, which is leads. So once I've selected the correct objective, I'm just going to click continue and it's going to take me to this next page where we have choose a campaign setup. Now, for our sake and for the sake of our pockets and our business, we want to select manual leads campaign. This gives us more control and it allows us to target people correctly. And don't worry, we can still use some of Facebook's internal AI setups and campaign setups. So we're just going to click on manual and then click continue. Now what it does is it loads up a new campaign in the ads manager editor. So tracking back to the first two initial steps, right? These are the two steps that we need to follow so that our campaign is successful. We need to define our offer and our objective. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and create a dummy offer. That way you can see what it may look like when you're running a campaign. What I'm going to do is I'm going to specify what the objective is, like what we're selling, which is creating jobs, so marketing for them. And then we're going to put a timeline on that. So car detailers will get you 10 jobs in the next 2 weeks. Then we're going to give them a risk reversal or you don't pay, right? That's a pretty solid offer if I was selling to car detailers. Now that we have the offer, we know what campaign we're actually doing. We're just going to put car detail leads, right? We're going to leave the campaign details the same. So your campaign structure is kind of like a tree. You have the roots, then you have the trunk, and then you have the branches. Now the branches are the ad creatives. You can have as many of these you want. You can also have as many ad sets as you want. If you want to test different offers, different colors, different lead capturing methods, that's completely fine. You can do that with different ad sets. But for now, we're just going to leave it simple 111. So we're going to scroll down and these are all off. So our A/B split test is off. I have a video on how to A/B split test. Check that out on the channel. And our campaign budget optimization is also off. So there's not much more we can do here. We've named our campaign. We're going to go ahead and click into the ad set level. Now the ad set level takes us to a different type of thing. It takes us to a different page and it allows us to create the name of the ad set. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this ad set so that it clearly reflects what the objective of this is. So leads. As you can see over here, we have different methods of collecting that lead. Now, whether it's a call, whether it's through Instagram DMs, whether it's through Messenger DMs, whether it's through an Insta form, which is what we'll be using in this video, or it's through a website and a call. So we've selected our desired conversion bridge. What we're going to do is we're going to go here and make sure that it's connected to our Facebook page and not anyone else's. So that's a client of ours. Now, we want to select the performance goal. Now you can optimize for the number of conversions or the number of leads. Now, the way these two works, and it varies from different objective, whether it's leads or sales, is the first one here is volume. So it's purely based on getting as much leads as you possibly can. The second one here, number of conversions, is based off of getting a higher amount of intentional buyers. So people who only want to buy, not just people who want to buy. So not volume, but quality, right? Now, depending on whether you have a sales team or not, if you have a sales team, having a volume of leads is better because you have more opportunity to follow up on leads that may still be valid, but just need extra nurturing. Versus whether you're a 1-man or 2-man or 3-man show, you might need to use this function here, the conversion function, because you only want to deal with leads that are serious. So what we can do is we can link this to our CRM. We're not going to do that for now, but what we're going to do is we're going to set our budget. Now, as I said before, we can set a budget between $20 and $50 a day just to start out, to test the waters and see if our ad creative is actually performing. What I like to do is I like to leave it at 20, depending on how fast I want to see results. If I want to see results quicker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at 100, and I'm going to leave it at 50, and I'm going to spend $100 over 2 days to test how relevant and which ads perform. Now, ideally, I wouldn't be using one ad. I'd be using a large sample of ads, up to 25, just to see which ads perform better. Then I can split test the best performing ads against new ads. Now, we can set a start date and an end date. I recommend leave this. When it comes to budgeting scheduling, when it comes to budget scheduling, what you can do is you can increase your budget during specific days or times, whether it's like peak hour times, whether most people buy on weekends, you can spend more budget towards that. We're going to leave that off. Audience controls. Now this comes down to setting your audience to the right people and getting your ads in front of them so that they convert. Now, if we're going for car detailers, what I want to do is I want to manually do this, right? I don't want to let Facebook manage this itself. So I'm going to click switch to original audience, and then I'm going to click use original audience as opposed to use Advantage Plus audience. Advantage Plus audience is Facebook's own way of finding an audience for your ads and putting your ads in front of them so that they convert based on your intentions. However, we're going to use this way because it gives us more control. So once we've selected our own audience, it's going to show us a larger range of options. Now, again, we can split test versus our audience versus Facebook's audience. That's another alternative. However, what we want to do is we want to find people in our general category. So if I know that most car detailers are going to be men, I'm going to select men. If I know that they're going to be 20 plus, I'm going to select 20 to 65. If I know that they're going to be in bigger cities, what I can even do is I can click on location, click on browse, and I can browse by saved locations. I can browse by countries. What we're going to do is we're going to select a few locations. So as you can see, the entirety of Australia has been selected. Let's just say we want to select the main cities. So we're going to go and click drop pin, hover it over Melbourne for now. And what we can do is we can select this so that it covers the whole majority of Melbourne. Now we can repeat this process, do it over Sydney, do it over Queensland, do it over the Gold Coast, do it over Tasmania. We can essentially do this and target bigger cities as opposed to just all these small towns within Australia. Now, Doesn't mean they can't be targeted. Doesn't mean you shouldn't go broad. It just, for now, we're localizing the broadness so that we're not spending money on leads that aren't necessarily going to convert because they're based in Wagga Wagga or they're based off the coast of Northern Territory. So let's just leave it at these three for now. We can even go and we'll do Queensland. We'll do Queensland. We'll go and do Queensland. Put that up. Now it doesn't necessarily matter. This is also useful if you're a local business. You can target certain, literally certain suburbs. So if you know that your clients are only going to come from the suburbs you're in or surrounding suburbs because of the location of your business and the type, you can go ahead and target those suburbs and retarget people who have visited your page. And I can show you how to do that in this video or later videos. But essentially now we have our target locations. And take this a step further by adding a target audience. Now I'm not going to go ahead and actually do that, but I'll give you a quick example of creating a custom audience. So we go over here to create new, and we can either create a lookalike audience of people who look like the people that have interacted and bought with our page before, or we can create a custom audience. Now, a custom audience is, as the name implies, it's custom. We can have Facebook take data from all of these places and retarget and market to these people only. So if we know that people from lead forms convert better than people from our website, we can retarget to all the people that have used a lead form. Now, let's just say we have our own customer list. We have our own list of emails of people who have bought from us before. What we can do is we can click that, we can click customer list, then we can click next, and we can import a list from MailChimp, or we can import and download our own list. So I've already downloaded and put this custom audience in, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that. We'll go down to the actual rest of the campaign settings. So placements, this is another big one. Lots of people waste unnecessary money on placements. Now, why do they do that? Because they don't know any better. So what we want to do is we want to switch it to manual again. So you have to hover over advantage placements, click edit, select manual, and now we can see all our placement options. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off audience network, and we're going to keep it to Facebook and Instagram. Now, let's just say we're running picture ads and we don't want them coming up as a reel and kind of like an awkward just picture reel. We can turn them off by selecting stories and reels and turning off Instagram stories, Instagram reels, Facebook reels, and even Instagram in-stream videos. And we can leave it on feeds, turn off Facebook stories, and search results, right? So it only comes up when people search, or not for our stuff, but when people are on the search explore page or when people are scrolling through their feed. Now that's one method. I recommend for placements, keep it in Advantage Plus, because most people, or keep it in just Facebook and Instagram, because if it's in Advantage Plus, you have network audience and you spend money on excess things you don't actually need. It's just a waste of a few dollars, and over a big campaign, it actually adds up a lot. So the next step is going and creating our ad creative. Now, this part can seem tricky, but the way I like to label things is version 1, right? We have version 1, we can say version 1, and then put car detailing leads. And then we can duplicate it if we don't want to rewrite that, or we can just rewrite it. You can either choose between a image or a video or a carousel. There are different types of ads you can run. Keep it on a single image and video. Scroll down to add creative over here and click on add media. Now it's going to give you the option to add an image or video. I'm going to click image. Now what it's done is it's pulled up Facebook's internal kind of photo and memories. It's actually going to allow us to use photos from our Instagram, from our business pages, from pictures we put in there, as well as allow us to upload certain pictures. Now, let's just say for car detailers, I want to get their attention. I want to post something that is going to get their attention. So I have a picture here of my business partner and I at a car showroom, and it's us doing a bicep flex. We're going to use this. We're going to crop it if we need to, so that it fits in search results for certain algorithms and certain placements. For this one, we can either put it at 1:1, leave it in the original. Either way, the picture size is fine. And we're going to click next. Image generation, we're going to skip this one. And optimizing, what this does is it actually adds certain features to your photos that you may or may not want. So it might add a visual touch up, it might add music, it might add some text on your actual campaigns or an overlay. Just because we want to control the controllables and not have Facebook interfere with our pictures, we're just going to come to the top here, select all off, all on, all off to ensure that they're off. Then we're going to click done. Now, let's just say I want to keep this ad super simple. Now, this isn't a prime example of how to write a campaign, but if I'm keeping this ad super simple, I just want to click and put my offer in the primary text. So this is the description. It doesn't necessarily get used as much as the headline. The headline is probably the most useful and the most important part of an ad creative. Your headline is where 80 cents of your dollar goes, so make sure it's good. This is a dummy example. Now, I might create a video on how to have good headlines, how to write good headlines for your ads. And the primary text is essentially the bit that all the people see on Facebook. So when you click on Facebook as someone posts a text and it has read more, that's what the primary text is. So as you can see, it gives you some previews here. It has car details will get you 10 jobs in the next 2 weeks or you don't pay. Car details will get you 10 jobs in the next 2 weeks or you don't pay. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward right there. Now, if you want to set up a different call to action like apply now, that's a different story. You can set these up. Facebook doesn't let you add your own custom ones. So I recommend choose a one that's best suited for you. But now here comes the fun part, right? Now we get to create a form. So we can use a custom template or we can create it from scratch. Now for this video, I'm just going to create it from scratch with you guys. We're going to label it car detailing form dash leads. You can put the date if you want, completely up to you. And now there's 3 different types of forms. You've got more volume, higher intent, and rich creative. Now rich creative is for your kind of like apply to these event type forms where there's no, the ROI is on the back end, not the front end. High intent ensures that you're not just getting spam users come in. More volume means you're probably going to get a noticeable amount of volume compared to a noticeable amount of people who want to convert after they've put in the form. So higher intent, the actual difference between these two, all of them, is that this one's a simple form. It allows customers to autofill the information. This one is a simple form. It also allows customers to autofill information. However, they have to slide to review and they have to slide and review the steps that they've made. Higher rich content has more ability to add pictures and, you know, FAQs and dot points and paragraphs and images into the actual lead form. We're going to click higher intent because we don't want customers wasting our time, and we're a one-man team. We want to be able to actually get the leads, call them, and know that 70% of them are actually quality leads. So what it does is it has this sidebar here, allows us to progress into the stages. So now that we've selected the type, we're going to go ahead and select our headline. So let's have a creative headline. Detail superstars. Car detail superstars. We'll leave it at that. We can put an emoji there. Now, let's just say we have a muscle emoji and we can have a car emoji. You don't have to use emojis. I recommend it because it's fun and it keeps people engaged as colors versus just plain text. So then we can put a paragraph or a list. Now, a list obviously is, as the name implied, a list of features. It can be benefits, it can be drawbacks, it can be requirements. A paragraph is, as the name implies, as well. So let's just say paste car details will get you 10 jobs in 2 weeks or you don't pay. You can even put a list here if it's, the only problem is it's centered. So let's just say no lock-ins, no worries, no more begging for jobs. Okay, leave it super simple, super easy to comprehend and understand. And we're going to go to the next step. Now what we can do is we can ask for their information. Now, depending on how you want to sell your clients, whether you want to call them, we can add categories. So we might just leave that as contact information. We might add user information of, let's just say we want to send them emails afterwards. We might add their first name and then their last name. And then we might add a question, fill in your details. Okay, awesome. What we're going to do is we're going to add a custom question that allows us to see if a person is really interested in having their car detailed or not. So we have the option between multiple choice, short answered, and conditional. So if a person has a certain car or a certain answer, it filters it out as a lead or as something else or an appointment request. So let's just add a short answer and have the question as, what car do you drive? So when they first click the form, they're going to be selected with this question. Then, as you can see, it takes them to fill in their contact information, and then it confirms with their private policy, as well as a thank you message at the end. We put our private policy link in there, and we can just put privacy policy CEM. We can add a custom disclaimer, whether that's going to be that they're going to get opt-in to an email flow or an SMS flow, completely up to you. And as you can see here, because we selected higher intent, it's going to get the customer to actually slide to complete their form, as opposed to just tapping, getting them to think, do they actually want to put their information in? And after that's done, it will take us to the ending. So as you can see, this is sort of like the thank you page. Now, what we want to do is we can customize it so that it just says thank you, they're all set. Or we can customize it so it takes them to our website. So we can say thank you. There's one more step. Now let's just say we want to really entice our customers, right? So we want to bring them to our website. So we write, visit our website for a 5% discount. And then we obviously put our website link in there. Then we put grab your 5% at the end. Grab your 5%. Right, as a call to action. So that's what they see if they want to get 5% off their discount, off their car detail. Once that's all done and we're happy with how it looks from finish to start, now obviously you can put your company pictures in here at the top as a logo. We're just going to click create form. Now once this is done, we're going to have a form that is linked to our ad so that when anyone presses it, it takes them to that form, gives them their information, and allows us to get leads so that we can ring, call, and start closing more deals. Once that's done, we're going to click website events, so ensuring that people that visit our website from our ad are tracked, and just double check the campaign before we launch it. Now, because this is a test campaign, I'm not going to launch it, but the way we would launch it is just click publish. It will load. It might take 2 minutes, and it will say that the campaign is launched. Great. So now that you know how to set up a campaign step by step and how to create a lead form, what do you need to know and what you need to do when you're managing your campaign? The first thing you want to do is review and make sure it's published. I can't tell you how many times that we've just double checked an ad and it wasn't running properly because an error came up last minute and we had to quickly solve it. So double check that everything is running right, that the form is right, all the information is filled in, all the ads have their appropriate sections filled out, and that everything is working. The second thing we want to do is check it once or twice a day to track how the ad is going. So if we're spending $50 a day, we want to know that each day it's actually performing and getting us leads. If we spend $50 a day and our leads aren't, and we've spent $50 to acquire 0 leads, it's time that we turn that ad off and we reevaluate the strategy, and we use creative or set of creatives so that we can actually optimize our ads to get leads. So you can track metrics like the cost per lead, the conversion rate, the click-through rate, and the engagement. When it comes to videos, one thing you want to do is track the hook rate and the hold rate. This is checking how many people are seeing your content and watching it, and how many people have seen your content and are watching it all the way through, and how long are they watching it. Then what you want to do is download your leads off of the ads manager and either have it set up using AI automation so that it goes straight into your CRM, or you want to download these leads so that you know you can call them and you have their names, their numbers, and what car they drive so that you can ask them about their car and about if it needs cleaning or detailing. What I'll do is I'll quickly show you how to download your leads. That way you're not confused. Great. So to get our leads, usually what we tend to do is when our campaign is active, we'll be able to download them straight from here, straight from the ads manager. Now, if that's not the case and you stop running the campaign, what you're going to do is you're going to head over to the tools. You're going to go over to instant forms. This will take you to a page that has access to all the instant forms you've created. It will also allow you to boost the ad, but also download the results. We can download the new leads, we can download the used leads, or for an amount of leads in a certain time period. So let's just say used leads. So once it loads, our lead center will have the leads that we have from our intake forms or our lead forms. Now, as we can see, some of these lead forms here, we've got around 7 leads. Now, one of them was, or we've got around 8, but one of them was tracked as like a spam lead. So yeah, test dummy lead. So we can even just get rid of that one. So delete lead. But as you can see here, you've got access to move them forward in a funnel by tracking them. So you can track them as qualified, you can track them as converted. It doesn't matter. You can even add your own custom stage of, phone call, right? That way, whether you have or haven't completed the phone call, as in this example, you can see where they are in your journey, right? So if you found this video helpful and you want to see more valuable content like this, you want access to this file here that shows you step by step what to do. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, use the link in the description to get it for absolutely free. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.